Transition. There we go. And it's all good. We're live again. It is Monday. This morning started off like really cold. Like genuinely, I was really happy about the weather. The office was like 17 degrees, and now it's just so warm. Hey, Black Dragon, how are you? Stop distracting me. Have you got class soon? I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. Yeah, it is genuinely so very warm now. Whew. I have my tea. I drink tea. Can't not drink tea, even though it's really warm. We'll be playing some Horizon Zero Dawn today, and I'm not sure how long we've got left of the game, to be honest. You're in class now? Well, that's about as close as I've got to a classroom in many years. I don't know what that says about me, but hello to Black Dragon's classroom. I shouldn't say that. You probably got me on earphones, right? Toffee apple. Whew, I'm hoping the sun will disappear shortly, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so we're doing DLC. We just completed what feels like the main area, and we're off to the last mission, which I was told last time that we have like 5 frost claws to battle, which should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. We'll have to see how it goes. If we do complete it, I guess we'll just call it for the day. I don't really have any other plans tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Let's swap it over. And let's get my audio fixed, because I always forget the audio. I don't know why. Okay. And mute this. And let's get it on. I think we're good. We're good. Oh, I need to unmute the actual... There we go. Yeah, so we just literally come out after completing the mission, and we've been told to go here, I think. Forge of Winter. Yeah, this is it. This is it. We're good. We're good. I think I actually bought stuff, didn't I? So I think we're pretty set. We're set. Let's do it. What's in here? Yeah, so the AI had retreated, I seem to remember. We reactivated it, and then it retreated to a hideout. That was the deal. Here we go.
All of my interactions with Aurea were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong.
No
At the Battle
hologram?
of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud.
Yeah, she sacrificed herself switching
So you see, if
off
anything can
the
be done
daemon.
to defend you,
Or resetting, I think.
he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again.
This is the first fully
Come
functioning.
closer, Aloy.
AI that we
We have
found.
much to discuss.
Remember, the Gaia was broken. Let's talk to Aratak first. I don't want to get too into a discussion with Cyan about the world. We have to go outside again. Looks like Ash.
My chieftain,
Just Aloy.
as you wish.
I wondered if you thought that if I'd never come along, Araya might still...
If you'd never come along, I would have marched my kin to our deaths. Araya would be alone, and the spirit she sacrificed so much for would be lost. Either way, I would not have been able to protect her.
You didn't let her down. Look what she accomplished. I think, look what she accomplished.
Because of her, we destroyed the cauldron, forced
I
out
think he
the
wants to be
daemon,
proud
and
of her
saved the
rather
spirit.
than happy.
She understood what had to be done.
Yes, and I failed to listen.
You didn't fail.
A shaman should always have the ear of their chieftain. Yet I turned her away, my own sister. I was foolish, but she knew better. Though I grieve for her passing, at last I truly know who she was, and why the spirit was so important. For so long she told me, if only you could have heard it, brother. Now I understand. There's something else, isn't there?
I can't stay here, Aratak. And where I'm going, the Warrak can't follow.
Maybe we're supposed to do the other one first.
It already had a chieftain before me. A strong one.
Oh, does she mean go see
A
Hades?
wiser one, for the path we shared. The daemon is gone, but there's much to be done.
You mean the new units that Cyan said escaped the cauldron?
Yes, fire claws. Now Tuk has been tracking them from Song's Edge.
I could help with those.
I have no doubt. You're practically Banuk.
Fire claws.
Time to talk to Cyan. Should be interesting.
I don't want to fight the fire claws. I'm hoping it's optional, but we'll see. I don't think it will be. We're gonna have to make the land safe. And...
Hello,
Billy
Aloy.
beans.
I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility.
Good
Because
for
of
you.
your efforts, and of course, Araya's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus. I feel profound grief over Araya's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan,
Creepy.
I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
What are you?
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude. I focused on my work. In off cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
This Firebreak project, it was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes, I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems.
Oh.
Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least
Well, there
another
you go.
3,337 years.
So
Awesome.
we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Do you know what happened to your colleague, Cyan?
No. I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow years after his tenure ended. He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications. Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased.
Yeah.
I will transmit a recording of my last interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Okay. Wow.
Was the daemon,
A lot of
Hephaestus,
questions.
destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location, one I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly.
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago, I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes, I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions,
Wow.
even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy
AI is
greatly
very human.
appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
Okay.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from. Long ago, Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team.
Makes sense.
It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
I can't remember what Hephaestus was supposed to do. Let's carry on.
Do you
Oh,
know what...
no.
I will
We had this on. This
Why
one.
does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
He was the
The
builder.
Vanook and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If
Wow.
a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control.
Got it.
When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan. I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So, you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I. I found the strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell. And after that, the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace.